edition of the Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's Saturday night, and yes, the football is back. The less said about the West Ham result, the better. Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth is on at the moment, I believe. And perhaps you're multitasking and playing the quiz as well as watching the game, but who knows? But thank you very much for joining me nonetheless. You know the drill at this stage. 8 rounds this evening, lasting over the next hour. Testing your general knowledge trivia. Good to see you if you've been here playing before, and welcome if this is your first time to the Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Here's how you play. Alright, so welcome back to the Big Nerd Pub Quiz, Saturday night edition. I believe this is the 42nd one. We're into week 13 or 14 now, and basically I'm trying to think of this, 3 months of this, 3 months of the quiz, which is absolutely nuts. So yes, welcome to the Big Nerd Pub Quiz. You can play the good old-fashioned way of pen and paper, or use the Google form in the link in the YouTube description below. You can play as a team or individually. All you have to do is open the Google link, enter your email address, and answer the multiple choice questions as they are asked. There are 8 rounds, 6 questions each. There's only one correct answer per question. Once the quiz is finished, simply hit submit, and you'll get your scores at the very, very end of the quiz. Recommended you stream the quiz on a laptop or TV using the Google form on your phone or other device. Good luck and have some fun. Don't forget to get in touch with us throughout the night. We've got loads of shoutouts coming up over the next hour, but get in touch via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Best way to do it is via the Facebook DM or the Instagram DM. I do check Twitter now and again, but by all means, do get in touch with us via those ways. Don't forget to use the hashtag BigNerdPubQuiz wherever you're playing. Love seeing the pics of everyone playing the quiz up and down the country. But yes, use the tag BigNerdPubQuiz, and yes, let me know your score at the very, very end of tonight. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, of course. Hit the little bell button in the bottom to get updates from the channel. But yes, so glad to see so many of you guys subscribing over the last couple of weeks. Fantastic to see. You can replay any of the previous episodes on the YouTube channel itself. Host the quiz on Zoom with your family and friends. And don't forget, there's loads and loads of fantastic quizzes that you can play online anytime you want. Harry Potter, Star Trek, Thrones, 90s, noughties, all coming up. This quiz is on every Saturday at 8 p.m. The general knowledge one. We've got the kids quiz every Tuesday at 2. And coming up this Monday is the much-awaited James Bond 007 quiz. So yes, that's Monday the 22nd of June at 8 p.m. And on the Wednesday, we're doing the Big Nerd 2000s quiz. So on the 24th, we're doing the Big Nerd 2000s quiz as part of our Another Decade special. I'm going to leave that up for a little bit because I spent ages making this. There's about 99 odd layers there of different pop culture references from that particular decade. And yeah, it was fun to make it. But yes, that's on the Wednesday, the 22nd. Really looking forward to that one. So yes, the 24th. The 22nd is Bond. 24th is the Big Nerd Naughties quiz. And then we've got the horror quiz on the 29th. And we're going to throw up next week the July lineup. Definitely going to have Pokemon. Definitely going to have a Big Nerd Wrestling quiz. There's going to be Lord of the Rings. Someone has written a Lord of the Rings quiz for me, and they've sent it to me already. I'm going to go through it as well. Hopefully make a quiz out of it. Don't forget, tonight you can win these fantastic prizes. The Northern Iron, from Northern Iron Teas, the Big Nerd Pub Quiz exclusive t-shirt, and a 12-pack of mixed beers. Remember, for over 18s only, the last week's winner, and I'll be sending them an email shortly with their address on, but last week's winner was Ryan Komisky from Lisburn. We'll be getting those out to you as soon as we can. So yes, this is all to play for tonight. 12-pack of mixed beers. Goes down super, super well. And you can buy an official Big Nerd Pub Quiz t-shirt from the website itself. Don't forget to check out my Zest FM 80s breakfast show, which is now into its 4th week. really getting into his stride now. We've got more presenters on the programs, and we've got again more cool prizes and stuff and all to give away. We're getting sponsorship. So yeah, that's really taken off. So that's Back to the 80s Breakfast with me every morning from 8 a.m. till 10 on Zest FM. Don't forget, you can support the quiz. Like I said, the quiz is always free to play. But any work that goes in, please do consider donating as little as £1 to PayPal or become a Patreon. Massive thanks to everyone out there who's been supporting me over the last couple of weeks. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. And like I said, this quiz is supported by you. And I based this on the blind boy model of soundness. All right, so we've got a really good fun quiz for you tonight. Like I said before, 8 rounds. Keep the shoutouts coming in, and we'll kick off tonight as we always do with the current affairs general knowledge round. So here we go. Round 1 coming your way. And just firing off tonight, it's the general knowledge round. If you've been following the news at all this week, you shall totally get these. But here we go, round 1, question number 1. So the Premier League, of course, restarted this week. But who's scored the very first goal since the restart? Or since the lockdown began? But who scored the very first Premier League goal this week on Wednesday night? I was rushing through the film quiz to make sure I could get to see the game. But like I said, round 1, question 1, nice one to start you off with. So the Premier League returned to the screens, much awaited. But who scored the very first goal of the return? It's round 1, question number 1. Round 1, question 2. So actor Ian Holmes sadly passed away during the week. Very famous English actor, but which film was he best known for playing the sinister android Ash? It's round 1, question 2. Ian Holmes, it would be known to more modern audiences as Bilbo Baggins in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And yes, we have a Lord of the Rings movie trivia quiz coming up in the next couple of weeks. Like I said, someone in Russia wrote me a whole quiz, and I think somebody else has another idea for quizzes as well. What we might do is take both quizzes and merge them together, kind of like a best of. That's round 1, question 2. Actor Ian Holm passed away during the week, but which film is he best known for playing the sinister android Ash? Round 1, question number 3. So Rough and Rowdy Ways is the first album of new music since 2012, released by which folk legend? So Rough and Rowdy Ways, the first album of new music since 2012, from which folk legend? Like I said, you've got 4 options there on your Google sheet. Like I said, if this is your first time playing. So yes, like I said, if you ever don't know, always give it a stab. But round 1, question 3. Rough and Rowdy Ways. First album of new music since 2012, released by which folk legends? It must be really handy if these guys have recording studios in their homes and they can get a lot of music done during the lockdown. Anyway, so that's round 1, question 3. Next question tonight. Know there's a lot of gamers out there. Probably do a games quiz at some point. But round 1, question 4. The Last of Us Part 2 was released this week for the PS4. But what's the name of the protagonist that the players control in the game, in this particular game? What's the name of the protagonist, the female protagonist? It's round 1, question 4. In The Last of Us Part 2, which was released this week for the PS4, what is the name of the protagonist that players control? So I'm not a big gamer, I'm not really playing that many games. But anyway, so round 1, question number 5. Do hear it's good though. Round 1, question 5. According to a tell-all book which is set to be released this week, which country did Donald Trump allegedly think was a part of Russia? Donald Trump is also surprised to know that Britain has nuclear weapons. I think at one point thought it would be cool to invade Venezuela, because you could. I don't know. Yeah, that if 2020 could be, if you could tell someone from like the past what 2020 is going to be like, and yeah, they wouldn't have money on this. That's round 1, question 5. And so yes, just say that one again. So according to a tell-all book, which country did Donald Trump allegedly think was part of Russia? And your final general knowledge question for this evening: Polish troops apparently accidentally invaded which country this week? Okay, to give you a bit of context, they were setting up COVID borders to make sure, like, to monitor people coming back and forth between their border and another country, but accidentally walked over to the other side and were in the other side of the border, and somebody pointed it out. He's like, wait, you can't be here. And they were like, so yeah, phone call to Warsaw, was all sorted out. But which country did Polish troops accidentally invade this week in the news? So that's round 1, question 6. Apparently it happens all the time in Liechtenstein as well. Like, Switzerland invades Liechtenstein all the time. It's just tiny, you just wouldn't notice you're going through it. But anyway, round 1, question 6, that's your final question for the general knowledge quiz. So, recap, like we do for every round. Premier League returned this week, but who scored the very first goal since the lockdown? Ian Holm passed away sadly, but which film is he best known for playing the sinister android Ash? Rough and Rowdy Ways, first album of new music since 2012 from which folk legend? Last of Us Part 2 released this week for PS4, but what's the name of the protagonist that players control? And tell me which country did Donald Trump allegedly think was part of Russia? And finally, Polish troops accidentally invaded which country this week? Okay, 1 down, 7 to go. Yes, like the weather, like it started off very, very, very nice and dry, and then it turned into an absolute gale force winds outside, blowing blowing all the trees and the leaves outside. Was meant to climb Slieve Donard. This was they meant to climb last Friday, and we'd planned to do this, and then the rain put it off, and then waited again. Was going to do it yesterday. And I thought again throughout the week the weather forecast looking good. Very last minute, just nope. And then this morning we're looking at the weather, it's absolutely gorgeous. But then now it's like I miss that really long, bright, sunny weather. But anyway, if it is raining and you're inside playing the quiz, well, thank you. Keep the shout outs coming in. Keep all the tweets and all the mentions and stuff using the hashtags and all and the social medias. Get in touch with me and I will give you a shout out at some point tonight. Okay, so moving on to the next round. And it's all about Matt Damon. Okay, a little bit of a random one this, but this was a leftover round created by the guys at Banterflex for the movie quiz that we did during the week, and I thought it was actually too good of a round not to not use, so I thought, like, we'll take it and we'll stick it in tonight's quiz. So yes, next 6 questions, all Matt Damon themed. Now, not specifically about his life or anything like that, but just Matt Damon movies and things. But yeah, it's a well-written quiz. Don't forget, you can replay it at any time. And a big thanks to the Banterflex guys. You can check out my review, my lockdown choices, on their latest NVTV episode, which went out on NVTV last night. It's on their website on banterflex.com. But anyway, moving on, round 2, question number 1. So during the COVID lockdown, Matt Damon has found himself stuck in Ireland. But which part of Dublin has he made his home? It's round 2, question number 1. Yes, I'm hearing a lot of people spot him down there. It's kind of like Bigfoot. Yes, there were 3 sightings of Matt Damon knocking about. I wonder has it changed his accent. I wonder if it's changed his perception of the country positively or negatively. I hope positively. Do hope positively. That's round 2, question number 1. So during the lockdown, Matt Damon found himself stuck in Ireland. But which part of Dublin has he made his home? Round 2, question 2. So Matt Damon has played Jason Bourne 4 times, but who wrote the books that the character is based on? It's round 2, question 2. It's a very famous scene in one of the Bourne movies where it's shot in Waterloo Station. And to actually stop people going near Matt Damon when they were filming in the actual station, they actually created a stunt scene that was nothing. That wasn't being filmed for, like, just to distract people. But that's round 2, question 2. Damon played Jason Bourne 4 times, but who wrote the books that the character is based on? That's round 2, question 2. Round 2, question 3. In Saving Private Ryan, Matt Damon plays Private Ryan. His character is allowed to return home after all his brothers have been killed in action. But how many brothers did Ryan have? From the classic 1998 World War II movie, opening scenes which were filmed in, I think down in Waterford or Wexford, somewhere down there. The big open beaches substituted Normandy. But round 2, question 3. In Saving Private Ryan, how many brothers did Ryan have? Matt Damon always being saved. The Martian, Interstellar. Round 2, question 4. Kieran Martin, he's been asking for a Kevin Smith quiz. I think here's a question for you should get. So in Kevin Smith's View Askew-niverse, what character does Damon portray? So, yes, if you're scratching your head wondering what the View Askew-niverse is, Kevin Smith has created several movies: Clerks, Clerks 2, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma. There's Jane and Silent Bob Strike Back. I've actually met Jason Mewes at a convention. He's a really cool guy. Really, really sweet. But yeah, so all these movies, even though some of them aren't related in any way, actually do exist in the same universe, and the characters keep on popping up. And like Mallrats takes place the day after Clerks 1, I think. And they're all kind of linked. But yes, Kevin Smith's View Askew-niverse. What character does Matt Damon play? So round 2, question 5. In which teen comedy does Matt Damon make a brief cameo playing a lead singer of a rock band? Okay, to describe this cameo, it's like I think it's at the start of the movie, and they've all graduated high school, and there's this party, and yeah, there's Matt Damon as the lead singer of the band. It's really odd. But which movie are we talking about here? Which teen comedy does Damon make a brief cameo in, playing the lead singer of a rock band? It's round 2, question 5. And finally, round 2, question number 6. In the film Good Will Hunting, Damon's self-taught genius janitor works at which American university? So round 2, question 6. I believe directed by Gus Van Sant, 1997. Bagged an Oscar for Robin Williams. It's a really moving acting role by Robin Williams. I actually really do enjoy him in that. Ben Affleck also stars in it. The movie's set in Boston, like a lot of Matt Damon's and Ben Affleck's movies. But round 2, question 6. In which American university does Matt Damon's self-taught genius janitor work at? And there is your roundup of Matt Damon questions. During the COVID lockdown, where in Dublin has Matt Damon made his home? 2, who has written the Jason Bourne books? 3, how many brothers did Matt Damon's character Ryan have? 4, what character does Matt Damon play in the Kevin Smith's View Askew-niverse? 5, in which movie does Matt Damon appear as a cameo role as a lead singer of a band? And 6, Good Will Hunting. Damon's self-taught genius works at which university? Okay, quick time for a couple of shout-outs before we move on. I have to say, though, my favorite Matt Damon movie would be Talented Mr. Ripley. Absolutely stunning film, and really good book as well. So anyway, here is a couple of shout-outs that people have been texting in. Shout out to Rich and Liz, who are playing in Sandhurst, along with Rosemary, who's connected via Zoom. We've been playing every week. I'm really looking forward to the James Bond quiz. I am too. It's going to be really, really good fun. I've sorted out the rounds for that too. We've got a message from Barry. He says, "Love it, Mark." Said hi to Barry and the beautiful Helena, who sat in the sofa in Belfast. And Sadie Bradbury's playing over in Canada. Good to hear from you as well. Also, we shout out tonight. Can we say a happy Father's Day to Richard from his 12-week-old son Eli, and that's from Rebecca. Thanks, love your quizzes, and thank you for keeping us entertained. One more shout out before we move on, and it's from shout out to Muriel, Paul, Marge in Birmingham, from Arden and Elaine. And they wish they were playing us with this quiz. Anyway, thank you very much. Keep the shoutouts coming in. Like I said, I'll try my best to get as many of them done throughout the night. Like I said, I get inundated with multiple shoutouts. Anyway, moving on to the next round. And like I said, I got my inspiration from this kind of like driving about town today, and I stuck in a mixed CD. And I thought this is a very, very neglected genre of music that I haven't covered at all, really. But round 3, hip-hop. Yeah, just was listening to a bit of Nas and Tribe Called Quest, and I thought, you know, I'm going to write an entire round about hip-hop, so here we go. Round 3, question number 1. I hope they aren't too hard. Sure, everybody loves hip-hop. It's great. So round 3, question number 1 is your first hip-hop question tonight. Really early one, this, but which famous disco song's bass line was sampled in the early hip-hop track Rapper's Delight? It's considered to be one of the earliest hip-hop, not the first. It's arguably one of the earlier ones, not the first. You had artists like Gil Scott-Heron, even Muhammad Ali, the way he like used to rhyme and stuff. That apparently had massive influence on kind of like, you know, beat poets and guys like, you know, scat poetry over like over jazz and funk. But which famous disco song's bass line was sampled in the early hip-hop track Rapper's Delight? You know the one I'm talking about. Hip-hop, the hippie to the hippie to the hip-hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang-bang boogie, say up jump the boogie to the rhythm to the boogie the beat. That's the song. You know the bass line. What's the song? So round 3, question 2. Which record label was founded by Suge Knight, Dr. Dre, and Dick Griffey in 1991? Signed such act as Snoop Dogg and Tupac Shakur. So round 3, question 2. Very famous record label. Defined the West Coast sound during the big early 90s West Coast, East Coast feuds. But round 3, question 2. I'm looking for the name of the record label founded by Suge Knight, Dr. Dre, and Dick Griffey in 1991. Signed such artists as Snoop Dogg and Tupac. So it's round 3, question 2. Round 3, question 3. So, which of these rappers is not a member of the Wu-Tang Clan? Alright, we've got Method Man, Raekwon, Eazy-E, or Ghostface Killah. So, which of these was not a member of the Wu-Tang Clan? Method Man, Raekwon, Eazy-E, or Ghostface Killah? You know, Childish Gambino got his name from a Wu-Tang Clan name generator on the internet. Donald Glover. Yes, that's where Childish Gambino comes from. Method Man, Raekwon, Eazy-E, or Ghostface Killah. Which of those are not in the rather class Wu-Tang Clan? Round 3, question 4. So which song by the Beastie Boys featured a video directed by Spike Jonze as 70s Cops and featured prominently at the very end of the movie Star Trek Beyond? It's a crazy old thing, like the Beastie Boys actually massive Trekkies, and they rap about Star Trek all the time. Like I remember hearing some Star Trek fans complaining, it's like, oh, why are the Beastie Boys in the movies? It's like, dude, why are they not in the movies? They're so good, like, you know, they rap about Star Trek, and they've even in one of their videos they have like them dancing as Star Trek characters. Saw them in the festival a couple of years ago, 2007. And yeah, it really just blew me away. And one of my heroes growing up. So glad I caught them. Like 15 years ago now. Anyway, so that's round 3, question 4. Round 3, question 5. Which hip-hop artist was involved in organising the failed Fire Festival, which became the subject of a hit documentary in 2019? I know, a couple of laughs there about that screenshot that I used. But yeah, it's the Fire Festival. If you haven't seen the documentary about the Fire Festival, do check it out. It's about basically how lots of rich people got duped into thinking they were going to this amazing festival in the Bahamas, and it was just really badly run, and nobody turned up, and they were like living in FEMA style tents. Round 3, question 5. Which hip-hop artist involved in organising the failed Fire Festival, which became the subject of a hit Netflix documentary in 2019? I was going to take one for the team. He's a good guy. Anyway, round 3, question 6. Which rapper joined forces with Kanye West to release the album Watch the Throne in 2011? So round 3, question 6. Yes, there was an album and a really big tour as well in 2012. They played the O2. But it's round 3, question 6. I'm looking for the name of the rapper who joined forces with Weezy to release the album Watch the Throne in 2011. And that's your roundup there, your hip hop roundup. Round 3, question 1. I'm looking for the name of the famous disco song, the bass line sampled in the early hip hop track Rapper's Delight. The record label founded by Suge Knight, Dr. Dre, Dick Griffey in 1991. What is it? Raekwon, Eazy-E, Ghostface Killah, Method Man. Which of those not a member of the Wu-Tang Clan? Which song by the Beastie Boys featured in a video directed by Spike Jonze as them dressed up as 70s cops, featured prominently at the end of Star Trek Beyond? 5. Which hip-hop artist was involved in organising the failed Fire Festival, which became the subject of a hit Netflix documentary in 2019? And finally, which rapper joined forces with Kanye West to release the album Watch the Throne in 2011? Alright, so don't anyone tell me the score of the Bournemouth game. I'll find out afterwards. Not that I have much vested interest in anyway, but I suppose there's a relegation battle that we're definitely now in. Anyway, thanks very much for playing the Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Like I said, keep in touch with all the different social media channels. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't forget to donate to the Patreon. You got the address up here, patreon.com, Big Nerd Pub Quiz, and paypal.me/Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Like I said, the quiz is always free to play, but I really appreciate all the donations. Also, a couple of bit of news. I actually going to be on BBC One tomorrow on Points of View, reviewing a documentary about Tutankhamun. So that's on at about 1:45, I think, on BBC One. Do check it out. It's part of their Telly Nation viewers thing, and I was asked to be on it. So yeah, that should be interesting. So yes, check that out. Okay, I will post a clip of it online once I'm done. So here we go. Here's our next round today, round 4, and it's all about famous dates. Normally round 4 is always about a history round. So I thought we'd kind of keep it that way, and history's all about dates. So here's 6 famous dates. All you have to do is guess the day which is associated, or here's 6 famous days. All you have to do is guess the date which is associated with that day. We'll start off easy, but then it gets a little bit harder as we go through. So a very, very easy one to kick us off on round 4, question number 1. St. Patrick's Day. I know loads of you are going to get this. Round 4, question number 1. St. Patrick's Day. What date does St. Patrick's Day fall on every year? Didn't have a St. Patrick's Day this year, like we all know. And like I said, it was that week I decided to come up with this quiz. 3 months later, I'm still doing it. Round 4, question 1. So what date is St. Patrick's Day? Nice easy one to get you kicked off there. Here's your next one. Round 4, question 2. St. David's Day. So when is St. David's Day? 4 options there on your sheets. Round 4, question 2. St. David's Day. Round 4, question 2. So we've done St. Patrick, we've done St. David. Who do you think's going to be next? It's St. George. So when is St. George's Day? Round 4, question 3. Bunch of England fans there. I thought that would be, that's what you think when you think of St. George. Round 4, question 3. When is St. George's Day? So we have Paddy, we've had Dave, we've got Georgie. Who else is left? Round 4, question 4. Couldn't leave out the Scots. When's St. Andrew's Day? Funny enough, this day I think competes in a weird way with Burns Night. Burns Night's kind of seen more as a kind of national, another secondary national day for the Scots. St. Andrew's Day less observed. Burns Night probably more celebrated. And I've celebrated Burns Night. I went to Burns Night Cayley. Saluted the haggis with a bit of Burns poetry and lots of bagpipes, and it was great fun. Lots of whiskey, it's great. Neeps and taties as well. Round 4, question 4. So when's St. Andrew's Day? Okay, a little bit left field. We've done the 4 nations there. A little bit left field with this one. Round 4, question 5. Groundhog Day. Now, Groundhog Day, I checked this, does fall on one particular day. And if not, it's this year's day anyway. It's what Round 4, question 5. When does Groundhog Day normally fall on? Bill Murray there in the very famous 1993 comedy. Probably his best ever role if you think about it. Round 4, question 5. When is Groundhog Day? And your final dates one, which will bring us up to the halfway point of the quiz. Round 4, question 6. International Women's Day. Celebrated every year. And yes, there is an International Men's Day, so it's November the 11th. Or something like that, November 17th. But yes, International Women's Day actually started off as a Soviet holiday, funnily enough. But yes, widely celebrated now around the world. Round 4, question 6. International Women's Day. When is it? And a quick roundup there of the questions for this evening, for round 4. So, Paddy's Day, David's Day, George's Day, Andrew's Day, Groundhog Day, and International Women's Day. Okay, thank you very much for playing the quiz. So far, we've come to the halfway point, and this is always the part where I do a couple of wee mentions and things like that, and a couple of wee ads. So first of all, check out the Stuck in Here With You podcast on Spotify, Podbean, and Apple Podcasts. Also got the Hot Topic Nightmare, my buddy Paul, he does that one. It's on Mixcloud. He's writing the Pokemon quiz for me. Check out Banterflex, the TV show that goes out every Friday on NVTV. And I have to say thank you so much for collaborating on the movie quiz during the week. It was brilliant. And I have to say thank you for having me on again, doing my lockdown reviews. I have a little segment of me talking about which movies I've been reacquainting myself with, and movies I've been watching via the lockdown. And like I said, I've been hardly watching many quizzes, many movies, because I'm mainly doing the quiz. But yes, it was really, really fun to be on. Fright Club, they're helping me write the horror movie quiz as well, which is coming up. Also check out the Nerd Party. That's my mate Lee's thing. Nerd Party's there as well. Tons of podcasts for whatever your fandom. And check out the Zest FM breakfast show every weekday from 8 a.m. I've got a couple of viewers who do watch the quiz, and they're now listening to the show, and they're really, really enjoying it. So yes, it's my selection of fantastic 80s tracks every morning, every weekday morning from 8 till 10. So do check that out. Don't forget your winner tonight for last week, Ryan Komisky. He's won this t-shirt and 12-pack of beer from from Northern Iron Brew. So tonight, if you win the quiz tonight, and we'll let you know, obviously, you can win this 12-pack of mixed beers. Check out their site, facebook.com/Northern Iron Brew Co. They're not related. Funny enough, the companies aren't related. Northern Iron Teas and Northern Iron Brew Co. They're not. They're two completely different companies. Remember, enjoy the alcohol responsibly, and it's for over 18s only if you're entering to win the quiz. And like I said before, don't forget to donate to the Patreon or PayPal. Quizzes, like I said, it's always free to play. Thank you for supporting all the work that's been going in. And you can also support the quiz by buying some Big Nerd merchandise. So anyway, thanks very much for tuning in. Like I said, the football's back. Everything's fantastic again. And everything, life is returning back to normal. And thank you so much for everyone who's been supporting the quiz and continuing to watch. Really, really do appreciate that. Like I said, we've got tons of great quizzes coming up over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to keep doing them as long as I can keep doing them. And I'm going to keep doing them as long as you keep watching them. So here we go. On to the next round. And as always, and I know people either love or loathe this, but as always, round 5 is all about sport. But I thought I got a little bit left field with this one. I was thinking about sports teams and their musical themes. So yes, I'm going to give you 6 very well-known tunes which are associated with various football clubs across the world. All you have to do is guess which football club it is. So here we go. Round 5, question number 1. Okay, so the tricky enough one, this. The theme from Z Cars. I wonder what I'm talking about in terms of like this music. Yeah, it's music that generally the bands, when the teams come out. Like everybody knows You Never Walk Alone is Liverpool. I haven't put that one in because it's too easy. And the reason why that is because during the Pacemakers they're in the charts and they had a cover of a song from a musical, You'll Never Walk Alone, from Rodgers and Hammerstein's Carousel, and it ended up becoming like they used to play the charts in the stadium before the team came on. And when the song dropped out of the charts, people were really disappointed, so they demanded the song be played. But which team plays the theme from Z Cars? Again, apparently the cast of this very famous TV police show turned up. They played the theme over the tannoy, and now it's become, for the last 50, 60 years, it's become their theme. It's round 5, question 1. Round 5, question 2. I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles. Really no point in going into this that much. It's pretty obvious. I'm not, again, yeah. Being the club's kind of song since 1920 something, because apparently the manager really liked it. But anyway, round 5, question 2. Yeah, I wonder which team that is. Anyway, round 5, question 3. The Liquidator. Now, you might not know this track by name, but you'll know it if you heard it. It's a reggae track. They play it at the start. It's synonymous with this particular club. They play it at the start of every game. And yeah, you hear this song, you associate it with them. It's a reggae track from like the 60s, an instrumental reggae track from the 60s. The fans of the club stick their team name at the end of it. And yeah, it's a pretty cool track. I think it's called the Harry J All-Stars, The Liquidator. But what team is this song associated with? If you support the team, you'll totally know. But if you don't, probably a little bit more tricky, that one. So round 5, question 3, The Liquidator. Round 5, question 4, Sunshine on Leith. I have to say this is probably my favourite football song. When this particular team won the cup for the first time, like since like 1901 or something like that, back in 2015 or 2016, the players went absolutely nuts and the fans went absolutely nuts as well. And then they sang this song and it nearly made me cry. It's absolutely beautiful. And if you know where Leith is, you can probably work out which song this team is about. Anyway, but yeah, it's become an anthem for them. And it's not that old. The song's only about 30 years old. Round 5, question 4, Sunshine on Leith. Round 5, question 5. You should get this one, Blue Moon. Very, very easy. Synonymous with the club. I think maybe 1 or 2 other clubs play this one, but I'm looking for the best known one of this. Ricky Hatton, the boxer, he's a big fan as well of this particular team. He comes on to this song as well. Round 5, question 5. What team associated with this tune, Blue Moon? Round 5, question 6. This is the final one. Now, a few teams have adopted this one, but this team is the most well-known one for this one. Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis. There is a podcast. I know there's a podcast for this team. It's called Wise Men Say. And that's a podcast dedicated to this particular team, this particular English football team. And I would associate this song with this one particular team, and straight off the bat. So round 5, question 6. I Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis. Again, synonymous with... give you another clue. There was a very famous documentary made about this football team as well recently. Okay, that's it. I'm not saying any more. Round 5, question 6. Here's a quick roundup there. So the theme from Z Cars. I know somebody who should definitely get that one. Yeah, I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles. Again, you really should get that one. 3, The Liquidator. 4, Sunshine on Leith. 5, Blue Moon. And 6, I Can't Help Falling in Love with You. Is that one there. I know Phil Divers is watching, and he's from Glasgow. He might be able to get that one from Sunshine on Leith. Anyway, a couple of other shout-outs. We've got Kane Guckin. Says, a great quiz here. All the Guckins here playing in different parts of the country. Portmarnock, Smithfield, Drumshambo, Manor Hamilton, and Dramone in County Leitrim. Amazing. So yes, big hello to you guys. Let's see any more. We've got Lisa. Let's say a massive shout-out to Dave and Lisa in Cheadle in Manchester. Good to hear from you, Lisa. And we've got GD10. He says, mate, can you do a shout-out for me tonight? He's 28 on Monday. Me and Neve are watching from Belfast. Love the quizzes. Okay, we'll keep the shout-outs coming in and going on. Let me know where you are, where you're playing, how you're getting on, and how you're enjoying the quiz. And if you have any feedback for me, or if you have any quizzes you'd like to pitch, I'd definitely be more than happy to do those. Like I said, we're doing Lord of the Rings at some point soon. We're going to be definitely doing Pokemon. We're definitely doing wrestling. So yes, keep the ideas coming in. I've got to write the James Bond one, which I'll probably do tomorrow, but I'm really looking forward to it because I'm a massive Bond fan. Anyway, use the big hashtag quiz, Big Nerd Pub Quiz there as well. Anyway, moving on to the very next round, and it's all about famous addresses. Yes, kind of another little bit of a one here. I'm decided to do famous addresses this week for a geography one, and let's see how you get on with this. Some of these will be easier for you depending where you are. That's all I'm going to say. But round 6, question number 1 is: 1 Observatory Circle, US Naval Observatory, Washington, D.C. Which? Well, who lives at that person? Who lives at that address? You got 4 options there. Thought this would be a nice, well, tricky enough one to start off with. Round 6, question 1. 1 Observatory Circle, US Naval Observatory, Washington, D.C. You might get this if you're a fan of a particular American political program, right? That's the only clue I'm going to give you on that one. Round 6, question number 1. Round 6, question number 2. St. Martha House, 00120, Città del Vatican, Rome. Don't think it gets any more obvious than that, really. So who would live in a house like this? Remember Through the Keyhole? No? Lloyd Grossman? Nah. David Frost. Alright, round 6, question 2. St. Martha House, 120, Città del Vatican, Rome. Okay. Round 6, question number 3. Henley Street, Stratford upon Avon, CV 37 6QW, UK. Phil Badger should get this, because that's where you're from. Big shout out to Phil, Hannah, Paul, Lloyd, Becca, Rory, Vicky, Theo, Ollie, George, Steph, Greg, and Juliet. All watching. Haley and Dave as well. All watching. Tom and Sarah too. Yes, but yes, you should get that one, Phil. Easy enough. Henley Street, Stratford upon Avon, CV 37 6QW, UK. Round 6, question 3. Round 6, question number 4. Iris Anuchtaron, Phoenix Park, Northside, Dublin, DO8, E1W3. Now that's a bit of a new thing. I think they brought in postcodes in the Republic, which we never really had them. Like no, the Irish posts on posts down south are so good. Like people can just like write your man with the big head who lives down the road from Letterkenny, and they'll know that will get to them. And I've heard stories about that happen all the time. Like people used to write letters to Arkle the horse, just titled himself, Ireland. But anyway, the Iris and Uachtaráin, Phoenix Park, Northside, Dublin, DO8, E1W3. The clue is in the name, Iris and Uachtaráin. Round 6, question number 5. 11 Downing Street, London, SW1A 2AB. That's the postcode there. So 11 Downing Street, London, SW1A 2AB. And it used to be that you used to be able to go down Downing Street itself. It used to be quite open, but then they've, in the last 30 years, they've barricaded it up. So you used to be able to go up to number 10 and actually get a photograph there in Downing Street too. But who lives at number 11? Round 6, question 5, and finally, My Dutch is rusty, even though I have Dutch cousins and I've been there quite a lot of times. But Prinsengracht, 263, 267, 1016 GV, Amsterdam in the Netherlands. So round 6, question 6. So whose famous address is that? Or who lived at that particular address? Okay. Will require some kind of historical knowledge, I think. Use your logic. That's all I can say in the answer sheet. Round 6, question 6. Prinsengracht. Mark McDade, if you're watching, or any of my Dutch cousins, Ollie, Dan, or Oliver. God, what's my other cousin called? Neil, Daniel, and Oliver. Yes. If you guys are watching, am I pronouncing that right? Prinsengracht. 263, 267, 1016 GV, Amsterdam, Netherlands. And that's your famous addresses roundup. There. So 1 Observatory Circle, US Naval Observatory, Washington, D.C. St. Martha House, Città del Vatican. Henley Street, Stratford upon Avon. The Hours of Nook Phoenix Park, Dublin. 11 Downing Street, and Prinsengracht in the Netherlands. Okay, so that was your geography questions all done there. It's now coming on 9:45, and we've got 2 more rounds to go. And yes, now I'm gonna be warned. This next round is really tough, but I've made the last run quite easy. So bear with me on this one. I'm gonna explain round 7 to you next. I did this with the kids quiz, but we're going to test this one out on you tonight. Round 7's all about space shuttles. Now, if you've been watching the quiz for the last couple of weeks, you know I am a space fan. I love following the space program. I love space history. I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid, but then I realized I have absolutely no aptitude for science whatsoever. Anyway, still taking an interest in it, and I love the history all about it. But the next question you're going to be asked are all about space shuttles, right? So round 7 and this one is complete. This is a brand new format of question, okay? You have to get every single one of these right, or you won't get any points. That's the big caveat with this one, okay? Either get the 6 of these questions right, or you get 0 points, okay? So don't come complaining to me if it doesn't work. I did this exact same question with the kids quiz a couple of weeks ago, so if you've been watching it, you probably will get it. Try to remember. But here we go. I want you to name all 6 American shuttles in the space shuttle fleet that were flown from 1977 to 2011. A little bit of a note there. 1 was a test shuttle. And that test shuttle, you can actually see it's actually flying piggyback on a 747. That's how cool this thing was. But yes, space shuttle, which was designed in the 70s, flown in from 1981. 2 tragic accidents, one in 86 and one in 2003, claimed the lives of the crew on both missions, one on takeoff and one on re-entry. But the space shuttle was designed, like I said, to be a reusable spacecraft to travel into space and return like a glider. So you can actually see the space shuttle itself actually landing with 0 engines. But I'm looking for the names of the 6 shuttles used that were flown from 77 to 2011, including the test one. Right? Now, you have to answer all 6 of these right. If you get 5 and get wrong, you won't get the points. If you try actually blanket answering all of them, you will not get any points. I've tested this out. If you answer all 6 correctly, you will get the 6 points. It's a fiendishly difficult quiz question. But one I wanted to try out. I wanted to try this kind of format out. Because we've had multiple choice before, but I wanted to see if this particular one worked. And yeah, it is fiendish. I'll keep it up for a minute or two. Let you know how it goes. So I've got a little egg timer here. We'll just let that run away. But yes, the space shuttle itself, considered not to be it was meant to cut costs, but ultimately failed to do that. NASA saw it as kind of a way to commercialize space in a way. But the costs to flying this thing, which ultimately was the most complicated vehicle to build and to maintain and to fly, nearly just bankrupted them. And like the cost of 14 people, again, wasn't a very, very safe way to fly into space. Let's just put it that way. So retired in 2011 after the disaster in 2003. There's 4 left out of the 6. and they are scattered in various museums. One is in the Smithsonian Museum, the Udvar Vasey Space Museum in Washington, D.C. The other is in a science museum in California. One is in Kennedy Space Center, and another is on the USS Intrepid in New York City. So one more minute on that. I'm looking for the name, and yeah, again, if you kind of squint up at your TV, the images aren't that clear. One more minute on that, and then we'll move on to the next question. Like I said, fiendishly difficult. You have to answer 6 questions. You have to answer them. You have to pick 6 options. Some of them are fictitious ones. Some of them are names you've heard before. I think Sarah and Tom, Sarah, you're a big space fan. You should get this. This is easy peasy for you. But the space shuttles. We did this one with the kids the other week, the kids quiz, and they did pretty well on this. Let's see how you guys get on. Okay, couple more seconds, and we're going to move into the final round tonight. Okay, I know that one's pretty tough, but you know, that's one thing about this quiz. I always like to make things pretty interesting. Okay, we're going to do some more shoutouts pretty much at the end of the round. So yes, the final round itself. Bear in mind, you will get your score at the very end of the quiz once you hit submit on the Google form, but stick about to hear where you went right and where you went wrong. Okay, so, like I said, that was a tough one. I've made this last one fairly easy and enjoyable for you, okay? Because I knew Riley, everyone would be gritting their teeth going, oh, fucking nerd. It is the big nerd pub quiz after all, Anyway, so this one is an emoji round. We haven't done one of these in ages, and I know you guys love them. But this is emoji round, and it's all about famous books. I'm going to show you 6 famous books in emoji form. All you have to do is guess the title, and you're laughing. So, like I said before, submit your questions, answers at the end, and I will give you the answers at the very end of the live stream. So here we go, round 8, question number 1. Very self-explanatory. So round 8, question 1. I love this track. All this music that I've been getting is from Epidemic Sounds. They're pretty awesome, so it's royalty-free music. Hope you're enjoying it too, actually, quite groovy. But anyway, round 8, question number 1. What book is that? Again, if I start saying it out, you will totally get them. I don't want to give you too many clues. Round 8, question 2. What title of book is this? Have you read this one? I'm going to guess no. If you have, I'm very impressed, though. It's very long. But they recently made a BBC drama about it. Round 8, question 2. What book is that? Next one. Round 8, question 3. Again, if I went into explaining what this is, you'd totally get it in a second. Big thanks to Emojipedia. Those are the guys who supply the emojis on this. I have to say, it's pretty cool. It's the most comprehensive dictionary of emojis out there. And it's really good for researching emojis and stuff like that. But yeah, and all the emojis are different in terms of what device you use. I tend to use the Apple ones that you see here. It's round 8, question 3. Round 8, question 4. Again, like your man used to say on the TV show, say what you see, and if you see it, say it. Catchphrase, Roy Walker. So round 8, question 4. What is this? What book is this? A fairly recent one. Got made into a movie set in America, which is kind of weird because they don't really have trains in America. I know they have trains, but they're not as good as trains over here in Europe. Round 8, question 5. A long title, this. But yes, break it down into its components. What are you seeing there? Famously turned into a movie in 1982. Cult film. Cult science fiction film. And they didn't call this movie the title of this book because that had just not worked at all. Let's round out question 5. This is your penultimate question. Get ready for the final question this evening. You'll hit your score, hit your email address in, hit submit, and you'll get your score at the very end. Stick about for the answers. And there's your final one. Okay, like I said, break it down. Break it down. I know it doesn't seem obvious at the start, but do work this out. Okay, round 8, question 6. Going through it one more time there. So those are the emoji questions again. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, thank you very much for tuning in to the Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Hope you've all enjoyed it. Let me know how you got on. Use the hashtag Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Post your scores up online. I want to see how well you did. And I love seeing the inter-family rivalries. I've got people in me texting me. It's like, yes, I finally beat my boyfriend or my girlfriend this week. So yes, thank you so much for playing. Getting a question here, shout out here from Holly Ann Smith. She says, I propose a ladies' night. A lot of the questions each week are geared towards men. Yes, I would agree that, and I will endeavor to make strides to make it more appealing for women as well. Yes, like I said, like if you propose, by all means, if you want to write a quiz for me, by all means, let me know. Lisa Aikman, she's texted in. She's watching the quiz tonight. She's made a wee story there. Kate Murhan is watching too. She's posted 48. She got full marks. That's amazing. So you don't need to stick about for the answers because you got all the answers anyway. Gavin Downey just said, yes, he said it and me in a message and I got that there as well. Adam Dean, Phil Divers has been watching. Yes, but thank you so much for all you guys texting in and shouting in. You really, really do appreciate it. Dave, thanks you for letting me know the music was too loud at the start. And Stephen McCullough as well. And Rebecca McGuffin, yes, did her shout out too. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Here are tonight's answers for the Big Nerd Pub Quiz on the 20th of June, 2020. Here they are. Here's the first answers. So yeah, Raheem Sterling was the first player to score in the revitalized Premier League. Alien was the movie that Ian Holmes starred in. Bob Dylan released the new album there this week. Ellie is the name of the character in the main character in The Last of Us. Finland is where Donald Trump thought was part of Russia. And the Czech Republic was the country that was accidentally invaded by the Polish. Matt Damon round. So Matt Damon's been holding out in Dalkey in Dublin. Robert Ludlum is the writer of the Bourne movies. 3 is the amount of brothers that Saving Private Ryan has. Loki is the name of the character in the View Askew-universe in the movie Dogma. Eurotrip, Matt Damon makes an appearance in that at the start, and it's MIT, not Harvard. His girlfriend he meets in the movie goes to Harvard, but he is working at MIT when he cracks that amazing code. Good Times with Chic is the baseline for Rapper's Delight. Death Row Records set up by Suge Knight and Dr. Dre. Eazy-E is not in the Wu-Tang Clan. He is in NWA, of course. Sabotage was the track used in Star Trek and directed by Spike Jonze as the 70s cop. If you haven't seen it, it's a classic. Ja Rule set up the Fire Festival, which screwed up everything for everybody. And JC was on the Watch the Throne tour. So, your dates questions. Paddy's Day, 17th of March. David's Day, 1st of March. I always remember that one because it's the day before my birthday. St. George's Day is the 23rd of April. Andrew's Day, the 30th of November. Groundhog Day, 2nd of February. And International Women's Day is the 8th of March every year. Your football team themes. Everton is the theme from Z Cars. West Ham, I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles. Sure to have got that one. Chelsea, walk out to the liquidator. Hibs, Sunshine on Leith. Man City, Blue Moon. And Sunderland, wise men say only fools walk in, because I can't help falling in love with you. Round 6, your answers. Mike Pence is the vice president, and that's where he lives in Washington, D.C. That's the vice presidential mansion. Pope Francis lives in the Vatican City. It's like the bears crap in the woods. It's like, does the Pope wear white? Yes, he does. He lives in the Vatican City. William Shakespeare. That was his address in Henley Street in Stratford-upon-Avon. Michael D. Higgins is the president and lives in the Ars Nocturne. Rishi Sunak lives at 11 Downing Street because he's the Chancellor of the Exchequer, and that's where the Chancellor of the Exchequer lives. And Anne Frank was held up in that address during World War II. in number 6 there. Okay, so these were the names of the space shuttles. So Enterprise was the test shuttle. It was never flown in space, but it was still flown on test missions. Columbia was the very first one, which was destroyed in 2003. Challenger sadly lost with the teacher in space in 1986. Discovery, Atlantis, and Endeavour are the only 3 that still, and Enterprise, of course, are the only ones that actually flew in space and still exist and in museums. And your final one, you should have all got these ones. So Clockwork Orange, War and Peace, Eat, Pray, Love, The Girl on the Train, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So there you go. Androids dreaming of electric sheep. Get it? And the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Sure, it's always easier when you have the answers in front of you. Anyway, thank you so much for playing Big Nerd Pub Quiz tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Don't forget to tune in to BBC One to check out my review of that Tutankhamun documentary, and check out banterflex.com for my choice of lockdown picks for the week. Also, it's all filmed here, by the way, so it's exactly what you're looking at. It's going to be seen on TV. That might kind of inner studio here. Don't forget the James Bond quiz coming up on Monday the 22nd. I'm really looking forward to write that one tomorrow. It's going to be great fun. And the Big Nerd 2000s quiz, that's on Wednesday, a couple of days afterwards. That's the rest of June. We're nearly done. Can't get over how fast this month has gone. But we got Bond 2000s horror quiz coming up, and we're going to put on the Pokemon and Lord of the Rings quiz and wrestling quiz next month. I'm going to see about still doing the kids quiz or not. I've noticed the numbers dropped a wee bit, and I don't know whether I'm still going to do them. If you guys want me to keep doing a kids quiz, do let me know. If you have any other ideas for quizzes, let me know as well. Back to the 80s breakfast show. Check that on Zest FM, and do check them out right now, because they're always playing really cool 80s hits. But check out my breakfast show every morning on Zest FM from 8 till 10. Okay, thank you so much again for tuning in tonight. I'm going to run down to see and catch the end of the football, see what's left, see who's playing, and see whether we're still in the relegation battle or not. I think the difference is 2 goals. Anyway, thank you so much again. There's the Patreon links, there's all the social media links. Stay in touch. I'll see you all again on Monday. Have a very good rest of your week and I'll see you all again soon. Take care and stay in touch, and have a very good evening. Good night.
legs to the beat.